Hello Pisces, welcome to April. Also welcome to Barbados, where I'll be here all month. So we just had the rain come down all day. It was absolutely beautiful. And the beaches were just like on fire, just like crashing waves all morning. So, Two of Cups, Four of Coins reversed, and the Queen of Swords. Two of Cups is union, communication. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for Pisces as the host of this lovely Mercury retrograde. Luckily it's over now. Luckily Mercury is coming off of Neptune now and happily making its way into Aries. Venus kind of coming in conjunction, a few more days and she'll be in conjunction with Neptune. And carry over into next week. So, there's still a little bit of some slippery ground here. However, it is an opportunity for us to start getting our footing, and we get our footing by having the conversations with the people that we love and the people that we care about, the people that are invested in our life and we are invested in theirs. And the Two of Cups does suggest getting on the same page, finding that compromise, really just coming to terms and working together in a positive way. I think the Four of Coins is a suggestion of humility and really tapping into, okay, I'm going to let something go. I'm going to really just, not only just forgive, but also find it somehow to forget as well, so that I don't hang on to it, because I don't need that karmic mess of hanging on to something. So finding a way to really let it go, to write it off as I was being human, I was, maybe not as conscious, I'm cooled down, I'm feeling better, and also kind of the same for someone else as well. Not that you're justifying toxic behavior, that's not what I'm saying. Hopefully you're not trying to justify and rationalize bad things. However, if you're in a healthy connection and you are trying to keep it going, then you're in a really good place to do that. The Queen of Swords been making the Libra energies for whatever reason. I think it's the full moon energy, the double full moons, coming out 0 degrees and 29 degrees of Libra. It's keeping us so even keeled, which we really, really needed this season because of the Mercury retrograde. It's keeping us diplomatic. It's keeping us pragmatic. It's keeping us, with an open mind enough to really say, okay, how can I see this from the other person's perspective? I know that I can only see it from my one angle, my one lens, so let me keep an open mind and try to see it from their point of view so that I don't create, some kind of a disaster. Let's just not be dramatic about it. Let's think about it. Let's analyze it from all angles. Maybe even get a neutral third-party opinion just to see what someone else can see. And there's just this kind of open-mindedness that maybe you're not seeing everything clearly, and you can't ever, no one ever can see it entirely. So let's open up ourselves a little bit to possibilities here. Six of Coins and the Knight of Cups. Well, this is your energy here as well. It's an interesting mix. I don't see this Queen of Swords as being someone else, unless you've got your eye on somebody. And then in this particular instance, you seem to be the one doing the reaching out, you being the one sending the text messages and kind of doing the work a little bit too. If you got into a disagreement and someone totally cut you off, you're kind of the one that's like, hey, let's apologize, let's make amends, let's make this right, let's not do this anymore, kind of thing. So hopefully you're not in that boat, but really I think I actually see these both as you, using the power of the mind and the power of the heart simultaneously. The heart, the emotions, right? A Piscean emotion can be sometimes overwhelming, but also it's your superpower too. It's your source of knowing. And when you know you need to go into a new direction, when you know something needs to be said, when you know what you know, it gives you the wherewithal to really put it all out there and to not place judgments on yourself. And hopefully that's kind of where this is going. Very non-judgmental space, very open-minded, very much like, let's see, you know, if it doesn't work out, it's okay. If it does, great. But you seem to be willing to come to the table and lay it all out there. And I believe genuinely that Pisces is wanting a fair go. They're wanting to forgive as much as they are wanting to be forgiven. If it, you know, everything is always kind of a two-way street. I believe fairness is in order. I genuinely believe that. I believe fairness is in order. And I believe that what is owed to Pisces and to the other party will come to fruition. Often the Six of Coins is like, okay, what goes out must come in. And where there was some kind of a void, you know, where someone pulled back, it's going to fill in here. Anything that you've been working on in terms of your manifestations, in terms of setting intentions, hopefully you use this Aries new moon today to your maximum benefit, right? It's not just a new lunar cycle. It's like Aries, new year, new everything. And it's so like all these multiple cycles kind of merge into one this month, which is why we're feeling very much in this limbo world. And the next set of eclipses that's going to happen in July is going to bring about like a whole new kind of thing, a continuation from January, yes, but it's going to be with a whole different twinge to it and a whole different mindset. So it's going to be different. And there's still time if you want to do those intentions. You can definitely do that. And but it is about fairness. It is about the universe evening out. What did I just say? You may be dealing with the Sagittarius as well, where they seem to be very much in their world, in their realm, doing their thing. But I also think more so it is just you. Look at, you've got two cards, one on either side, both indicating balance. You have the you have the Two of Cups in the beginning, don't forget. And I genuinely believe that whatever it is you're letting go is the thing that is creating the balance. Whatever it is you're letting go is the thing that's creating stability. Something about this angel though, with like the 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the water kind of thing, if you can see that. I know my lighting's bad, it's raining again, so it's a little bit dark in here. But the 1 foot in, 1 foot out, it is ready to go on a whim. It's ready to feel and to emote, but also to be practical as well. I think the feet placement, one in the water, one on the earth, is kind of the embodiment of the swords and the cups. One using the mind, but leading with the heart. You know, there's no delusional quality coming through here at all. You seem to be chasing peace at this moment. You seem to be chasing stability, chasing a way of being that will attract better things into your life. We've gone through the delusional Pisces stuff so many times. Then now it's time to really tap into the higher mindedness of Pisces, which is about the oneness, which is about the abundance of the universe as well. Let's not forget. So for you, in order to receive, you must let go. And I think you're totally okay with that. Honestly, I don't see pain. I don't see sadness. I don't see heartbreak. I don't see anything. I don't. It's just like Pisces is like, I want peace. I want balance. I want love. I want connection. I want reciprocity. Because maybe for far too long you were invested in something that was not reciprocal. It was completely one-sided, which sometimes this can be, and you've got your back turned to this. So turning your back to the one-sidedness and demanding of the universe, demanding of yourself, and thereby demanding of the universe that it must be equal, it must be balanced. That's it, plain and simple. Like there's no negotiating on that. There's negotiating to be compromise, there's negotiating to work out the kinks, but there is no negotiating on whether or not peace is the new MO. I always see serenity with this. That, I feel like that should be the name of the card. For some reason, that's just the way I perceive it to be. Serenity, which ultimately is happiness in its purest sense, its purest form. Ten of Swords reversed. Ten of Swords reversed. I think maybe some of you are dealing with the Sagittarius, because we're getting the Sagittarius card here as well. But I mean, it could be any sign. Someone with a very Sagittarian vibe. Someone who is also, sorry, I'm just going to skip ahead. Someone who is also mutable. Someone who is, look, they're very like into you. I don't know, like they're super willing to come together with you. They're super willing to talk. This is someone who is, you know, evasive to an extent. I think a lot of times emotions kind of, this person has a hard time with emotions when it's serious. You know, they like to fall in love, but more so they like the process of falling in love. They like to talk and enjoy passionate connections and all of this, but when it comes to seriousness, when it comes to like really digging in, this person is not as talented at that as you, because that's kind of your thing, you know? So this is someone that would rather talk about the thing rather than deal with the thing. So you may have to kind of circumvent that barrier a little bit, but ultimately I think they're very, very willing, but we'll clarify that person in the comprehensive. I do think this is the other person that you're dealing with, your partner or whatever. This is the person that, I mean, they see something in you as well. They definitely see what you're capable of. They see how you go about doing things, and they want to be a part of it. They look into you and they want to be a part of you. So that's a good thing. Now let's get back to the Ten of Swords, because this goes with the Four of Coins, right? The letting go and the release. It's so easy for me to sit here on this side of the table, on this side of the camera with the cards and tell you to let something go and tell you to move. Like, look guys, Scorpio moon, I know how hard it is to move away from stuff. It's not just Scorpio moon, guys, it's Scorpio moon in the second house with North Node in Taurus. Like, please, in eighth house, like, so this whole Taurus, eighth house, Scorpio, second house stuff, like, that's, I get it. And a lot of you have that kind of thing too, where someone says let it go, and like you're like, okay, I know I should let it go, I know I shouldn't think about it, I shouldn't, and then you kind of create this cycle of self-shaming and all of this, which is completely unhealthy. You know, allow the changes to just wash over you in their own time. You don't have to sit there and be like, I need to do this, I have to do that, and like really pressure yourself, because it's just going to make those Ten of Swords stick. The only way they can truly fall out is with time and just an organic kind of procession of events in your life, procession of life, and it's just the way it continues. And over time, a sword will fall and it will be replaced by a cup, or it will be replaced by a wand, right? And then another sword falls out and it gets replaced by a coin or something else. And you just kind of have to work it out one thing at a time. One little thing that annoys you, one little thing that bothers you, and that's it. And just know that you are beginning to plant the seeds here, especially if you are having really amazing conversations with someone, conversations with positive outcomes. That those positive outcomes themselves are in fact the seeds that are being planted to help you to release these Tens of Swords once and for all. The Ten of Swords is the pictorial representation of the Saturn-Pluto conjunction in Capricorn, okay? And now we're making our way into Jupiter retrograde now. We've got Saturn-Pluto happening at the end of the month. We're making our way into retrograde season. So it's a time for pause. It's a time for reevaluation. This is the breathing. This is when the tide goes out, right? Tide goes out, it exposes more land, it exposes more stuff, and it exposes it so that you can then deal with it. Okay, don't worry, you'll have another season next year if you don't take care of all of it right away. It doesn't have to all be done right now. And the World reverse came out next to that as well. It's interesting how the bottom row, the Knight of Wands, is running into the World reversed. And also behind that is the Ten of Swords, because I think they have their own stuff too. They are more comfortable in their current state. They are more comfortable with being where they are, which I think is driving Pisces a little bit mad, because you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. You don't want to be here because you've been here long enough. But for whatever reason, this person is just like, no, I want to keep it going. I want to keep it going. I want to keep doing and being the person that I've always been. However, I believe that this Queen of Swords is coming out for a very specific reason for you. It's coming out to give you the power of reason. And I believe you will have an opportunity to reason with this person. I'm not trying to say convince someone to be with you. I'm not trying to like say manipulate anybody. But like, I think you are in an inspirational role at this moment in time. This person is being challenged. They're facing themselves. They're looking at that World reverse and saying, do I want to walk through the portal or not? And Pisces is coming out and being like, honestly, you can do whatever you want. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to wait around. But like, how sad that you don't want to move on. And it's not a shame game. You're not shaming them. I think that you genuinely, with the open-mindedness, right, the non-judgment of a Queen of Swords upright, you can do what you want. And really giving them that right to do it. But you're coming at it with such a dry and unemotional space that it really is making them think. Like, yeah, I really can do what I want. So is that really what I want? This is where you're inspiring them. Your cool and even tone, your cool balance, your even somewhat non-committal, right? 1 foot in, 1 foot out, even a little bit non-committal. You're not committing to an outcome with this person. So this vibe, I think, is throwing this person for a loop a little bit. And they're like, wait, this is the first time Pisces has ever really acted like this before. What does this really mean? You know, and so you're getting their wheels spinning in a really important way. It's an important turning point for them in their life too. Okay. So I know it's super dark here. Hopefully you guys will be able to see the cards. Let's put the camera down now. See how this looks. Yes, it's dark. I'm sorry about that. Oh, you know what? Actually, if you give me 2 seconds, maybe I'll grab my cell phone light. Hold on. This is kind of the way it goes when you travel a little bit. Yeah, hopefully. Oops. A little bit better. If I can get this thing to stand up like normal. Okay. So let's pull out supplemental content, additional 2 cards from my golden universal tarot deck. The 8 of Swords and the Hermit. Oh, let me turn the camera around. Sorry about that. You'll be able to hear the rain, Caribbean rain. Perfect for Pisces. Such a Pisces feeling day. Oh my God, you guys, I can't even tell you. It was such a Pisces day for me. So, okay. I mean, I've got Mercury, Sun, and Mars in the 12th house, so I vibe with the Pisces energy super well. 8 of Swords. I think this is, a lot of times people see this as being, you know, feeling trapped, feeling suffocated, feeling like you're imprisoned by your own thoughts, all that kind of stuff. And I get that. I get that, I do. I mean, it's a traditional meaning of the card. However, In this particular moment and in this particular instance, I feel like the bondage and the blindfold are in fact your power. Why are they your power? They're your power because all of these thoughts, I think, represent projections. Not I think, that's what swords represent, projections. And in this moment, you're choosing not to project. And I think you are resisting the temptation to project as well. It's not that you're just not doing it, it's that you're rejecting the temptation. You are sinking in to that darkness, blindfold, the darkness inside of you. And that darkness is like that dot of consciousness that exists within your heart. There is no duality, which is why I really like the Queen and the Temperance card. There is no duality. There is only being led by heart. Your mind can help you deal with another person, but ultimately you are heart-centered without question. You are in alignment without question. You might be feeling a little bit sad or a little bit, you may be feeling emotions, but ultimately you know what needs to be done, period. The Hermit, the card of Virgo, your opposite sign, coming out and speaking to wisdom, speaking to your wisdom in the matter. You have done so much soul searching. You have gone through so many periods of growth and change and revision and this and that and this and that. And like, it's really, really time for Pisces to live and to step into their absolute best life with or without this person. This person is a good person, you know, fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, someone who has like that charisma that I think Pisces is really drawn to, you know, really drawn to people who are really outgoing and really enjoy life and all of that. But, you know, ultimately this is about you. It always comes back to you. And I think you're ready for because you feel like you've been prepared. You've gone through the lessons of preparation, and now you're having to use the things you got prepared for. That's been a theme for the past few signs for this month. You've been getting prepared. So what have you been getting prepared for? Well, you're about to find out. Okay? So, it's about balance. Now, I'm going to go through, I'm going to pull the cards that I'll go over in the comprehensive reading. I was kind of looking at the Two of Cups there, so we'll pull that out. So, I'm not going to talk too much about these now, but if you want to join me on the website, you are more than welcome. The link will be in the description box down below. So, focusing on the Two of Cups, still. Beautiful. Interesting how that Two of Cups is coming from a place of kind of loneliness or a place of even rejection or isolation. Feeling like so betrayed even. Maybe you're dealing with an Aquarius as well, or maybe that's also an embodiment of your energy mirroring the Queen. So we'll see when we'll see. Four of Coins reversed. I think someone doesn't like that you're letting go. I think you don't like that you're letting go. I think the fact that you have to be so balanced and you have to be so mature is really tough for you. Like even just being like, oh my God, I have to be this way. I have to, because you know you have to be that way. But you actually have to be that way now. And so your behavior is changing. It's a beautiful thing because behavioral change is symptomatic of internal change. Change, the world, it's a changeover, right? Behavioral change is symptomatic of internal change. And when we change our behavior, that's when the physical world starts to evolve and change around us. Wow, we're getting a lot of the same cards. So Queen of Swords to clarify the Queen, Two of Cups to clarify the Two of Cups. Interesting. So those are all for the Queen. You are headed toward prosperity, my friends. There is no doubt about it. Okay, I'm not even doing this on purpose. I promise. Just means that first layer was super solid. Can I just laugh at how like crazy this is? This is crazy. Okay, you're taking on the feminine energy here. What's backing you is the feminine energy, because that's kind of how I was seeing the Queen of Swords as well, right? That the Knight and the Queen, so now we have the Knight and the Empress, and I'm wondering if you're dealing with an Emperor, King of Swords, okay? Either the same person, probably the same person. So this is them, you're the Queen and the Knight coming out through. So you're kind of actually have this holistic picture coming through. We even got the Page of Swords as well, and Knight of Swords. So there's this holistic view coming through. You guys are kind of this yin-yang going on. Yin-yang is beautiful, but it can also be tough too, you know, because you can be really opposite sometimes. This person just seems like they're just not quite willing to concede. They're not quite willing to admit where they were wrong. And that could be problematic for Pisces, because I think you're willing to come to the table and be like, look, I know I did this wrong. Let's really work this out together, you know? Let's really, really figure this out. What was that one? This energy, very scorpionic, very intense, but it's also not super unfamiliar to Pisces either. This kind of confusing, not quite know how to feel, not knowing how to commit to a feeling. You know, I don't want to take those because they actually did not turn over and I'm not feeling inspired by them. For the Knight of Wands. Card of Virgo. Okay, you may be dealing with the... So I'm getting major cards coming out. Aquarius, Aries, Sagittarius, Virgo. Mostly. We also have a Cancer card. Scorpio again. Leo. Now, I know it looks like I pull out tons of cards, but we do talk for like an extra 20-25 minutes in the comprehensive, so there's a lot more to the story that comes out. You want to be with us there. Okay, I love the coins for you. I like the Virgo energies, if I'm being truthful, because it's going to keep you really grounded. I think the groundedness is important. This particular person, you know, they themselves having a hard time committing to a feeling, committing to an emotion. It's astrological. It won't last long. It will come to fruition. It will come to a head. Roundabouts, the new moon in Libra. So as we make our way in the next couple of weeks to that point in time, this kind of strange energy is going to subside. So don't worry about it too much, okay? So I'm going to leave you guys there. If you want to join me on the website, of course, I'd love to have you. If not, then I will see you next month. All right? Thank you guys so much. Take care.